Good afternoon, this is Joe Biondo with Inbound Logistics Magazine, and we are live from MODEX 2026 Day 2. I'm sitting here right now with Andre Luecht, Director, Strategic Business Development Management at Zebra Technologies. Andre, how are you today?
Very good, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. So we'll jump right into it. What would you say is the single biggest pain point your customers are bringing to you this year compared to maybe 2 years ago?
If I reflect, I've been this show for a number of years now, but if I reflect on this, in previous years you would have an outsized focus on greenfield exercises, full automation. And this year I think there's a bit of a realization that brownfield, individual workflow automation is worth pursuing. So that's something that a lot of our customers are looking at, saying, what can we do with our current footprint? Is there something that we can improve? What can we do to make our people more efficient and our processes? So a lot of the automation is what I would call pocket automation or single workflow automation.
So looking around the MODEX floor today, I know it's very busy, but what would you say is one thing you're seeing that might have been unthinkable even just 5 years ago?
Yeah, I'm not sure how feasible, but we've seen some humanoids running around, and the proliferation of that kind of technology would stipulate that this is the perfect form factor, right?
Yes, so, absolutely, without a doubt, Andre.
And I'm wondering if that is true. I haven't seen many use cases. There are some, I'm sure. I haven't seen many use cases where that turns into a valid ROI, valid use case to deploy this type of technology.
So you've talked about several different types of technology here in the past couple of minutes. What would you say is the biggest mistake you see companies making as they're embarking on a digital transformation journey?
Neglecting the basics. Bad data will not give you good outcome. Bad data or not enough data, late data. If you don't have real-time data, if you don't have good quality data, the recommendations that your systems will spit out is just not going to be as good as it could be if you were to invest in collecting and capturing the data when it happens.
So Andre, you guys are launching a new AI-driven solution for MTL. How is Zebra using AI to change the warehouse from a place that just tracks data to a place that actually thinks and optimizes itself?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have a couple of new products that we're launching. So on the data capturing side, the WS501 RFID enabled data capturing device that lets you keep both hands free. That's a wearable. And then our TC 501 and 701. And what that does, it allows, because of the chip architecture and the investments in the device, we see frontline AI capabilities. And frontline AI capabilities is something, I call it useful AI, physical AI. The kind of AI that isn't limited to people that sit in front of a desk, but is available to people on the shop floor, helps them perform their task better, helps them to or gets them real-time feedback. Those are the kind of developments that will help you improve your warehouse performance. So handheld, in the moment, frontline AI to make decisions at the edge by the people that actually have to perform the task.
So you talked a lot about digital trends and optimization, right? What would you say is the biggest blind spot warehouse managers still have today, and how does Zebra's new software suite help them see, not only see, but fix it in real time?
On the blind spot, I think we all as humans have the tendency to chase the shiny object.
Yep.
And I think to some extent the same is true here. We all look at greenfield, lights off, kind of total full automation environments, whereas most of our customers, most of the market is in brownfield, is in existing warehouses. And I think that leads itself to focusing on passiveness, where you say, unless we build a brand new facility, there isn't very much we can do. So focusing on the here and now is probably a lot more profitable than the fantastic full automation greenfield kind of applicable or applications that we see in the number, was it C? Is that whole C?
Yes.
Has a lot of the full automation. So that's something that is probably something to look out for.
Andre, so earlier today, I had the opportunity to get a demo of your new inventory intelligence system. And granted, we're not at the booth looking at it now. But could you talk a little bit about how that AI-powered imaging doesn't just scan the box, but how it actually can alert a manager if a shelf is misaligned or a high-priority shipment might be in the wrong place?
Yeah, so we have invested over time significant amount of resources into improving our camera vision and machine vision capabilities. And in that particular portfolio, we have cameras and capabilities that range from basic barcode detection and scanning to sub-millimeter quality control applications and anything and everything in between. We have acquired some software assets and hardware assets in that space that lets you do dimensioning, 3D applications, that lets you count how many items you put in a box, lets you do quality control or determine if you have the right number of items that you took into your warehouse through a multitude of cameras with different capabilities. So long story short, we mentioned earlier the RFID capabilities, any and all kind of form factors, read ranges, etc. But combine that with camera vision capabilities, you get into an environment where it's really hard to miss an item that either comes out or goes in. So you're getting to a full inventory suite or inventory visibility suite to enable to fulfill everything that needs to be picked and needs to be put away.
So Zebra has always really been that bridge between the worker and the system. With the rise of AMRs and cobots, how do your new AI tools help humans and robots work together without stepping on each other's toes?
That is something where we have shifted our focus to the workers themselves. So how can we potentially turn the workers into, or augment the workers, turn them into a more professional, more proficient and more efficient kind of resource in the warehouse? There's a very nice side effect. We do a warehouse vision study once a year, and we have asked the warehouse workers on the floor, what is it that you want to see in terms of technology? And the initial hypothesis was technology could be a threat, and people were hesitant. That was our hypothesis.
Absolutely. Yep.
The outcome of the study was quite the opposite. The warehouse worker on the shop floor wants to see more technology than even their supervisors would be able to provide. Now, we looked at this and thought, well, this is odd, but someone explained it and said, look, if you start a new job and someone hands you a 10-year-old laptop, you don't feel quite as motivated as if they have invested a lot into the latest technology. So that was an interesting outcome of that particular study. And on top of that, the new warehouse worker generation or associate generation uses all kinds of technologies at home. So the form factor, the user interface that you're experiencing at home, you want to find the exact same thing at the workplace. So that is a focus on the investment into the workforce and the front line.
That's an interesting point. I appreciate you sharing that, Andre. Last question here. So many people think that AI is really only for the mega warehouses. Are these new solutions scalable for the mid-sized company that maybe is just starting off on their digital transformation journey?
That's a very good question. So we looked into this long and hard because a lot of our customers didn't really know what to use AI for, and it's not done with buying an enterprise license of Gemini, right? So we have split our AI capabilities into 3 different tranches, some very software development kits that you can add to your existing software suite. Think about translation capabilities, etc. The next level up is what we call Blueprint, where AI capabilities are built into the workflow, a simple validation of whether what the process produced is exactly as it's supposed to look like. So if you put a parcel in front of a door, is that a good picture I'm taking? Because that is the proof of delivery. And the last one would be what we call agents, where we could, in essence, you can interrogate standard operating procedures, right? So you can ask an agent any question. There's an oil spill. What do I do next?
Yeah.
Right. So these kind of agents that can all live, and that is something I mentioned earlier, can all live on the device. There's no cloud connection required, no cloud cost. That can live on the device. You can interrogate your standard operating procedure. It comes back with the next best option or whatever is compliant with the operating procedure, and it does that in over 20 languages.
Wow.
So yes, it's scalable because the more you use that, the fewer time you need for rework, or the fewer rework items or instances you have. You don't need the supervisor every time you have a question. You don't need a translator if this isn't done in English. So there's a lot of opportunity where AI can help even smaller and medium-sized company, and it's definitely scalable.